Between the kids being home and hosting, everything in our house gets used up in summer. With Instacart, I can save money by stocking up on all my favorite summer brands. I save time by getting everything delivered in as fast as an hour. And I save myself a sink full of dirty dishes by stocking up on paper plates for the annual summer cookout. Save more on summer essentials? Spend more time enjoying summer. Add summer to cart. Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
What's up? It's Kaylee Cuoco. When it comes to travel, we all have a happy place. I just went to my happy place. I just went to Maui, and it was truly amazing. Priceline has always been about getting you to your happy place for a happy price with deals you really can't find anywhere else. Like up to 60% off select hotels in Costa Rica or 5-star hotels for 2-star prices in Cabo.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Hey, what's up? This is Sully from Godsmack. Strap on those boots, baby, because you are now in the trenches of the war room with the one and only Mistress Carrie right here on the Mistress Carrie podcast.
What's up? This is Joe Rogan, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie.
Her hair so lovely, pretty eyes.
Hey, this is Brent from Shinedown, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie. Hey, Carrie, go put your bra on, girl.
Hey, this is Steven Tyler, and you be listening to the baddest bitch in Boston, Mistress Carrie.
What's up? This is Aaron from Stain, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie.
Hi, everybody. This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters, and you're listening to the one, the only Mistress Carrie.
Hey, this is David from the band Disturbed, and you're listening to the baddest bitch in Boston, Mistress Carrie.
Hi, Bruce Dickinson here from Iron Maiden. Yes, indeed, Miss Whiplash herself, Mrs. Carrie, is here to unchain your brain.
Hi, this is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You're listening to Mistress Carrie.
This is Dennis Leary. You are listening to my favorite, Mistress Carrie.
Hey, this is Corey from Stone Sour, and you're listening to, you have the privilege of listening to Mistress Carrie. Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's Mistress Carrie, reporting for duty from MCHQ for episode 167 of the Mistress Carrie podcast. And before we get to this week's guest, Richard Patrick from Filter, I want to remind you about everything you can find at mistresscarrie.com. Not only can you find every episode of the Mistress Carrie podcast and every episode of my weekly video show, Cocktails in the War Room, but you can also check out my photo galleries, my blog, the concert calendar, which is filled with all of the rock shows coming through New England. You can find the links to all of my social media accounts, and you can shop in the official online Mistress Carrie store. Whether you're looking for t-shirts, tank tops, or hoodies, beanies and baseball hats, coffee mugs, pint glasses, and even a bag that you can get into every concert, you'll find all that and more at mistresscarrie.com. You can even hit the Contact the Studio button and send me a message. This week, my guest is Richard Patrick from Filter. The band is getting ready to celebrate their 30th anniversary, and they've got a new album coming out next Friday called The Algorithm on August 25th. Filter is also out on the road with Ministry, Alice Cooper, and Rob Zombie, with their only New England stop at the Xfinity Theater in Hartford, Connecticut on September 10th. I caught up with Richard Patrick in his recording studio, and we talked about everything from touring to politics, the band's new music, how social media has changed our relationships with our favorite artists, the resurgence of cassettes and vinyl, his relationship with Trent Reznor and the Nine Inch Nails reunion. We also talked about his career in film scoring and the GOAT himself, John Williams. We talked about his songwriting process and, of course, the new album. Richard Patrick is never short on opinions, and he's hilarious. So I was so excited when I found out that he accepted my invitation to come on the show. So allow me to introduce you to Richard Patrick from Filter. Mr. Richard Patrick.
Yes.
What's going on?
I'm here. I made it on time to the studio so I can talk with you. It's amazing.
I'm very impressed. You were very prompt, which is not the case a lot of times.
10 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah,
like that.
You're on the West Coast. I always ask the bands first, do you know where you are? Because half the time you guys don't.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. I'm not on tour as of the moment, but I'm going to be on tour for the rest of the year, probably. Well, of course, with Mr. Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, and Ministry.
Yes, we got to
That's
talk
coming
about
up
that.
in August and September.
The closest you're going to get to me is September 10th at the Xfinity Theater in Hartford, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good tour.
Are we doing the interview? Because I gotta wipe my face off. I'm a little wet.
Go ahead.
I'm a little sweaty.
You're fine.
Sorry about that.
It wouldn't be an episode of the Mistress Carrie Show if there wasn't some kind of sweaty weirdness, so I appreciate it.
Some sweaty weirdness happens. It's just the way it is.
It's going to be very sweaty and very weird with Zombie and Alice Cooper in Ministry. That's a fun tour.
Yeah, it's Freaks on Parade.
Yeah.
Which I like.
You're arguably like the most normal guy on that tour, which says something about the tour.
Yeah. I guess so. And I'm definitely a crazy person. I've had some crazy experiences in my life. So Ministry, Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, they've definitely got a shtick.
Not only that,
And the shtick is darkness, and I love it.
But they've also got a pretty amazing track record of longevity of career. And you're celebrating 30 years yourself, not too shabby.
Yeah, 30 years of making music, 8 records. 8 records.
Is it weird saying that coming out of your mouth?
No, I mean, it's weird being 55 all of a sudden. Like it's weird being older, but I still do the same thing. You know what I mean? I still make music and go around the world and play it and do movie scores. And, so music is definitely just this huge part of my life. And I hope to think I'm getting better at it. And it's just amazing. It's been an amazing life. You know what I mean? Now that I'm halfway through it, I can look back with happiness and know that I worked as hard as I could,
I love the fact that you're just letting the gray hair go. You're like, yep, letting it go.
Letting it rip.
I'm going to be purple when I'm 80. I don't care.
Yeah, it's all right. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
I mean, my studio's purple.
I know. So I wanted to talk to you about that because doing these interviews where I can actually see people, that's your home studio, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, I have a little commercial spot that I rent from, and it's got everything I need. It's got keyboards and synthesizers and just everything I could possibly want to make music with. So
I like being able to see inside your work environment, though. It's always very interesting to kind of see behind the scenes on where you go through your creative process. And knowing that you do it with purple lights makes me happy. I'm going to tell everybody you did it for me.
A lot of purple lights, and as a liberal Democrat, I'm stealing the flag back. So
we got to talk about the new album because all through COVID, I kept in touch with a lot of the artists that couldn't be on the road and were kind of stir crazy, stuck, not being able to tour. And this unbelievable avalanche of creativity has come out of it, where all of the bands were just stuck. So you might as well make new music. And there seems to be one side or the other, that bands either wanted to create music that was an escape from all the craziness that was happening, or they wanted to funnel everything that was happening into music. I think you're the latter because it's what you've always done.
Yeah, I kind of went crazy I was going to do a record with Brian Lee's gang called Rebus. And I wrote a bunch of songs that were like super political, like super topical. And I was going to call the record America. Actually, I wasn't sure what I wanted to call it. And so then I just released 2 songs called Thoughts and Prayers and America, and like got it out of my system. And then so for this new record, we put out those 2 songs, and those 2 songs live as singles on Spotify and everything. But for this new record, I decided to go less political and just more kind of general and just well, you'll have to read the lyrics to find out. But I call the record The Algorithm, because it's a little bit more of what's happening to us, because the whole theme I've had for the past couple of years is they've got us right where they want us. They've got us right where they want us, at each other's throats. You know, they want to divide us. They don't want us paying attention to what's going on behind the curtain. And I don't know. I've been very vocal politically, but as of late, the last like 6 months or 7-8 months, I've been less. I don't post anything political on my social media. I just kind of put it into the music and let people discover it on their own. It's not too in your face as it was with America and Thoughts and Prayers. So I don't know. I'm just messing around, you know. I'm just constantly working on different stuff, and I've been political, and I kind of said what I had to say, and now I'm kind of moving away from it because it's just such a ridiculous mess.
Well, it seems to be something that everybody dealt with because of the isolation. Mm-hmm. That everybody was just funneling all this rage through their keyboard, like on Facebook and Twitter, because you couldn't do anything else. And now that the world is opened back up and we're actually able to like go to shows, hang out together again, it's like you kind of know where you stand.
It's like during our concerts, I don't say anything. All I say is, I'm glad you're here. We're here to play music for you. We're here to entertain you. Let's have a great time. That's the only thing I say. There's no big, huge political, speeches during the show. And I've seen other bands do it, and it kind of fails. There's always 50% of the audience is just like, fuck you. I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? Their minds are made up. So it's almost like remembering that people, are coming to a concert to kind of get away from all this shit. So I mean, I've gone both ways on it, and right now I'm in a period where I'm just kind of releasing music. And if you discover that I'm saying something political, then good for you. If you don't discover it, then you're okay as well. It's not as in your face.
There used to be a time at Christmas when you didn't know that Uncle Walter was a jerk and like a bigot and stuff. And now that you're friends with him on Facebook, it's like everyone in your circle, you know way more about them than would have come out while you were passing the biscuits at dinner.
Yeah. I mean, it is so fucking bizarre that 50% of the country is being lied to on a daily basis, and they're just eating it up. They're just eating it up. And I'm not talking about what 50% it is, because the other side thinks it's the other 50%, and the other 50% thinks it's the other side. You know what I mean? And there's just so much disinformation. I mean, one thing I can say is Face Down is actually about the disinformation that's being spewed to us all the time. And it's crazy, And so I talk about things a little bit more globally and a little bit more like, vague, just because, I don't want to saturate my audience with just my political opinion. You know what I mean? And the thing about having a political opinion is just that's something that people know about you. All of a sudden they just know it, and it's a little disheartening to be known. I think it's like I feel like maybe I should have a little bit more mystique with the whole thing.
Well, back in the old days, before social media, before all of that, I asked George Thorogood this recently about when his career started. I said, could you imagine the late 60s and early 70s with social media? And he was like, no, everything was word of mouth. You had to hear from somebody that so-and-so jumped up on stage with somebody, that tours were getting announced. Like, it was so organic. And things were just slower. He's like, now you know what your favorite rock star ate for breakfast, and it kind of does take that.
Yeah, but you also you know everything about a person with social media, and but you're getting all of it at once, like as opposed to just kind of releasing records and. Like even us, we're releasing single after single after single after single, like within a month from each other, and just trying to have that presence online is just wild, and just trying to get clicks and stuff like that is wild. I mean, I'm going to release a record and, on Spotify, people are going to know the songs that have been released, but are they going to take that time to click the album button and listen to the entire album in one swoop, in one sitting? And I don't know if people do that anymore. I find myself not doing it that much. I'll put on Spotify, I'll hit a song that I want to hear, and then I'll let the radio play, and it'll play all kinds of new music and stuff, which is fun to discover new music that way. But it's also like, I just want to hear Some Girls by the Rolling Stones. Like play Some Girls by when I'm in my Tesla, I'm like, play Some Girls by the Rolling Stones. And it, I'll get it, but like, I have to know the name of the album. I have to know exactly what, you know what I mean?
You're in the algorithm.
Yeah. The algorithm. Exactly.
I hear from a lot of bands that the music industry and the way that they're going to release music seems to be reverting back to the original 50s days when they released 45s, but instead now artists are thinking, well, I don't know if we really need to release albums, or we might just release singles as we have songs ready. Are you saying that once this 8th album comes out, that you're going to do that more?
That's kind of what I did with Thoughts and Prayers and America, but those songs didn't get the attention that I wanted them to get. So it's like, I'm still kind of a believer in people buying vinyl and people buying CDs. I still want them to be satisfied as well. Cause a lot of people are like, even though the numbers aren't there, but a lot of people are like, hey, I want to hear the whole thing in one setting and one sitting and get everything, that way. And it's like, you're one of the very few that wants it that way anymore. But we're still available to them. We're still, putting it out there for them. As far as if they want a CD, they can have a CD. They can buy a CD. Like it's available on Spotify. It's available on Apple Music. It's available on Tidal or whatever. But it's also a CD. And so people, if they care, they'll go to the website and they'll buy it off the website, or they'll go to a store. Maybe Amoeba. We have Amoeba in LA, and maybe they'll buy it there. But, for the most part, most people are just streaming. So I've done it both ways. I released Thoughts and Prayers in America and just kind of released them. Didn't even, no fanfare, no promotion whatsoever, just kind of put them out there. And then this new batch of stuff, I'm on Golden Robot Records. So like it's a record company and it's a record label. And we're putting it out that way. So it's all over the place. It's a big mess is what it really is.
I understand vinyl coming back because I'm a huge lover of it. I understand why CDs are still around, obviously. What's your feeling on cassettes coming back? Because this one, if you lived through the cassette era the first time, I feel like you just don't get why they're back.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of weird with vinyl. I mean, my brother lent me his album collection with the stipulation, if you scratch any of my records, I'm gonna fucking kill you. This is how you clean it, and this is how you put it away, and you put it away as soon as you get done with it. And he was but he lent me his whole record collection, which was like The Clash and all this Black Sabbath, and all of my influences came out of that period when I was like 1981. But as soon as CDs showed up, it was like, these things are indestructible. These things are,
and they're not.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so I'm a CD baby. I'm CDs are where it's at. They sound huge. They're amazing. You can skip along, you can skip around on them and not have to worry about picking up the needle and hurting the record, the fragile vinyl record. So, cassettes. I used to make cassettes because that was the only thing that you could play in your car. So I would make a mixtape. I loved making mixtapes. I was great at it too. I would master it just perfectly. I would make it so loud, but yet still not distorted.
And there was no other way to say I love you to a girl than with a mixtape.
Then a mixtape.
Oh, my heart.
Mixtapes, baby.
Yeah. You kind of answered this question a little bit. I have a theory about music that there is the soundtrack to your childhood, the music you get exposed to unwillingly by like your parents, your older brother, your cool uncle. And then there's a line in the sand where you hear something, an artist, a song, an album, whatever it is, that you step into a new era of your life and go, no, I like that. So if your brother's loaning you all this vinyl,
yeah,
what were you guys listening to as kids that your parents were playing? And then what was it that go ahead.
So my mom and my dad, my mom liked stuff from the 50s because of her childhood. But my dad was like, he would listen to a lot of stuff. My dad really loved Neil Diamond. And I still love Neil Diamond. Like Hot August Nights is arguably one of the greatest records ever made, without a doubt, in my opinion. But he also loved Pink Floyd. So we heard a lot of Pink Floyd. With The Wall was constantly on in our house. And then like he really loved marching band stuff, like Stars and Stripes. Bam, bam, ba-dum, bam, ba-dum, bam. Like he loved the march.
Were you a marching band kid? I was.
No.
No, you never got there?
No, I was always a guitar player. But then my brother gave me The Clash. Like it's an infamous story. He came up to me. I was listening to a Kiss record and he goes, he's just like, you're not going to listen to that anymore. This is The Clash. You are now punk. You are now a punker. I'm like, okay, here we go. But then I started discovering my own bands, and my big first band that I kind of found on my own was U2. And Skinny Puppy and Ministry and all the industrial stuff that led me to Nine Inch Nails, that helped me, be a cool influence for Trent in Nine Inch Nails. And it's a ton of great music when I was a kid. And I still love discovering new music. Like I'm into this EDM artist named Rezz, R-E-Z-Z. I've been into her for the past 5 or 6 years. I love Scarlord. Have you ever heard of him? He's amazing. Oh my God, he's amazing. It's trap metal. He's insane. He's really good. And it's Scarlord, Scarlxxrd. Scarlord. That's how he spells it.
Yeah, see, I love discovering new stuff.
Yeah.
I've been kind of addicted to Sleep Token. Like I got sucked into that whole thing because it mixes so many different genres, which I love.
Yeah, I've never heard of them.
Oh, Sleep Token, you got to check them out.
Yeah. Cool.
Really, really cool. When the pandemic really hit and everybody was locked at home, I went down this rabbit hole of documentaries, and I actually saw you on that Hired Guns documentary, which I had never seen until the pandemic.
That was a shit job.
Was it?
That was bullshit. Yeah, they kind of made me the villain because I think they needed a villain for the documentary, but it was bullshit. If you saw the whole interview, which they erased, the whole interview, I very, very, very skillfully and safely navigate through their weird questions. And then at the end of the day, they made me out to look like this money grubbing villain. And I hate that documentary, and I think it's a piece of shit.
Wow. I had no idea that it was chopped up that way.
Yeah, he literally, the guy told me when I met him at an award ceremony for something else, he literally was like, "Yep, I made you the villain, bro. I'm sorry, dude." Fran, the guy that directed it.
Well, obviously your relationship with Trent, you guys got back together and we're at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
We're fine. We're fine. Trent and I have been good friends for the past 20 years. And we just came to a place of acceptance. I've got to be doing my own thing. That's where I needed to be. I wanted to go do Filter, and it worked, and everyone should be happy. Our kids have played together. Plus, he had me back for the reunion, which was unbelievable. It was so amazing. And he put me to work. He's like, "You're singing Eraser," which I literally couldn't sing because I was crying so hard. I was so happy to be back. And I was crying like a little kid, getting his wish come true or whatever. And then I had to sing Sin with him, back up some Sin, and play guitar. I played Wish. Then we played Gave Up, which was really cool. And then we did Hey Man, Nice Shot. He had 9 Inch Nails learn Hey Man, Nice Shot. And we performed that. And then I sang the second verse and Head Like a Hole. And it was amazing.
As a 9 Inch Nails fan, when I saw that hit the news, I was so happy.
Yeah, everybody was. And the crowd went nuts.
I bet.
They were so fucking cool. It was a huge thing for him to do that for me. He brought so much attention back to my career, and I owe him. He's a really good dude. And yeah, Trent Reznor, props.
It's not a surprise that both of you have found success not only with your bands, but also kind of in the film industry too.
Yeah. He's crushing it. He is a 2-time Oscar winner. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I can't complain, but it's not a competition. It's, we're both living in the world of our chosen profession and making music. I've made 10 movies, doing scores for 10 movies.
Are there things that people wouldn't know you did that you did?
Yeah, The Chariot, starring Thomas Mann and John Malkovich. I did the second with Ryan Phillippe. I did Pursuit with John Cusack. I did Dark Crime starring Jim Carrey. So I'm working, and I'm doing a new documentary called Protect the House, which comes out. It's probably going to come out next year sometime. And I did another one called Breathe, Nolan, Breathe, which I'm really proud about. The great documentary called Breathe, Nolan, Breathe. It's on YouTube, and it has absolutely saved lives because it's all about hazing. It's all about the hazing rituals that are done in college for these kids that go to college, and they have to drink a bottle of whiskey, and they get wasted and they end up dying from it. And it happens more often than you think. It happens 300 or 400 times a year at universities all over the country. And it's just terrible. These young, beautiful people go off to college, and their kids their parents are like, "Here you go. Here's my son. Take care of him." And they end up dead, from this hazing ritual, these hazing things that go on in college. So I'm doing a lot of stuff that I'm proud of. You know what I mean? I'm doing a lot of music scoring that is affecting the world in a positive way.
Who do you think is the best at it. Like, we have a soft spot here in the Northeast for John Williams because he conducted the Boston Pops for so long. But when it comes to like iconic film scores, is it John Williams? Is he the best? Who do you think is just iconic?
I don't think in terms of like who's the best,
or
because
your favorite.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
John Williams is arguably one of the greatest composers to walk the earth, period. Hands down. His movie scores are going to go down in history as like our modern classic music that we got into. Every single movie he does, he is amazing. And he's 98, he's still doing it. He just finished Raiders of the Lost Ark, Dial of Destiny.
I saw him in the If These Walls Could Talk documentary.
Yeah.
That Paul McCartney's daughter did about Abbey Road Studios.
Yeah. I haven't seen that whole documentary. I started watching it, but
I loved it. I thought it was really, really.
That's the other thing. It's just there's so much out there to watch. You're saturated with stuff out there. That's why it's different these days. But I digress. But Hans Zimmer.
Yeah,
is amazing. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are amazing. There's a lot of great movie score folks out there. I've got my eye on this young man named Chris Brocata, who's a friend of mine, who's amazing. He just got a job at Bleeding Fingers, which is Hans Zimmer's kind of factory where he does a lot of his work. And there's so many people that do great scores. It's a tough business, but if you can kind of handle it, then you're okay and you can get somewhere. It's fun.
Not to talk about favorites, but I ask every songwriter that comes on the show this question because I'm so envious of the craft of being able to make a song out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a song from any artist, any genre that's inconsequential, that it's not a favorite song question, but a song you think is perfectly crafted, that you wish you wrote it, but you got to give me an example and you got to break it down and explain from a craft perspective why it's so brilliant? Is there one you can think of?
I can't technically kind of give you that answer because I'm a feel person. Like I write things from a sound. From sounds. I write things from my ear. I don't know the different scales. I mean, I do, but I kind of don't. Like I everything that I do is from ear. But like, Paul McCartney's The Long and Winding Road, it's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. It's one of the greatest songs ever written. I mean, but then again, so is The Unforgettable Fire by U2, because it's so random. He was plucking a guitar that was, plugged into a digital delay, and he just plays these harmonics on the guitar that are random. You can't necessarily, it's more experimental and it has to be done with a digital delay, and it has to be done with a digital reverb. And like they try to play with, you can't do an acoustic version of The Unforgettable Fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could, but it would not sound nearly the same. So I'm all over the place. And Viva Sex 6 by Skinny Puppy is, the song VX Gas Attack is a perfect song to me because it is so abstract and it is so against traditional songwriting. It's punk as hell.
I'm just amazed at how many of you artists are the by ear, by feel, never took lessons. The more I talk to people, the more I realize that that's the norm, where me as a music fan, I thought you guys all knew how to read music and all took lessons as kids.
Well, I started off and I started off doing that and learning how to read and stuff like that. But I got bored of it. I'm an ADHD kid, you know what I mean? And I still have ADHD as an adult, and I have to treat it with medicine, and like I have to worry about it. but I was an ADHD kid, and I would just grab the guitar and play to the stereo and hear what they're doing on a vinyl record player, and like go back and listen to it and play it, and go back and listen to it and play it. And I would, find myself just writing on the guitar and creating new stuff for the fun of it, by ear, just because it was easier that way. It was easy that way. And
that was not my experience with the clarinet when I was a kid.
Yeah. The clarinet's a different ball. That's a different thing, but the guitar is and the piano is so visceral, and you just hear it immediately, and you can kind of like, oh, that's what they're doing. And so there's this amazing discovery that you have when you have something that's like, just you grab the neck and start playing chords on it and start figuring it out. And, that's kind of just the way I learned.
Well, I can't believe that I can say Filter is getting ready to celebrate its 30th anniversary, which blows my mind.
Yep.
And the fact that there's new music coming out August 25th, that this massive tour with Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper and Ministry is going out. I'm so glad that you're back. First album in 7 years. It's about time, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah, I know. And I did release those singles. I released America and Thoughts and Prayers for people who want to know if I've been out there just completely out to nowhere. But I've definitely been releasing music. But this is the first LP on Golden Robot Records that I've released in 7 years, and I'm super excited to get it out there because it's really that good. I just got the test pressing of the vinyl and listened to it.
Are you going to do purple vinyl?
No, I'm going to do clear. It's going to be translucent, clear vinyl.
Nice.
Yeah, and black.
Nice, obviously, yeah.
So there's going to be the black version, and then there's going to be the clear version, and you're supposed to get both if you really love me.
Well,
but I'm excited.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you taking the time. It was nice to see your studio and nice to see you. And
thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
When you get through this tour with Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper and Ministry, I'm assuming Filter is going to go out on your own tour, and it would be nice to have you in Massachusetts,
do a headlining.
in the Boston area.
We did some headlining shows in the East Coast a little while ago just to kind of warm up, and it was amazing. We played for like an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, and there are so many songs. There are so many amazing, great songs. I mean, people are familiar with Take a Picture and Hey Man, Nice Shot and Trip Like I Do and Welcome to the Fold and all that stuff. But there's so many more songs, and we play the best of the best.
Did you have to learn some of them because you forgot how to play them?
Yep. Yep. I literally can't remember all the fucking lyrics. And it is because the volume of music that we have, to know every single song it would take thousands of man hours to like learn everything.
Come on, Bruce Springsteen figures it out somehow.
He's got a teleprompter. You don't know this. You don't know this. You don't know this. But they've all got fucking teleprompters. Like people like you would not believe have teleprompters. I don't know. There's cheat sheets everywhere. Like every band has little cheat sheets of like, what verse is this? Like, what the fuck verse is it? Like I do. Jonathan Davis
for our
does.
Interview. Yeah, you got to.
Bono does. Bono has big teleprompters everywhere.
He's going to have to find a place to put those in that Sphere venue. Have you been following the construction of this venue?
I can't wait. I really want to go see a concert. Too. I'm like, our manager, Mark Pollock, knows those guys. And I'm just like, Mark, are you going to call Bono and get me in?
I'm going to be in Vegas at the end of September.
He would never do it because he's not that guy. He doesn't want to do that. But like,
if you need somebody to go with you, I want to go with you because
I want to take my wife and my kids. It's going to be like a $5,000 weekend.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be expensive as fuck, but I really, really want to go because I'm that much of a U2 fan and Vegas is close.
And they say that the Sphere is going to change live music performance. They said it's fully immersive on the inside.
I know, and I'm still interested in the four dudes doing their thing. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm into club shows. I'm into like, you know, I do love the immersive. I love video screens and I love all that. And Rob Zombie is amazing at that. He's got everything like that. And so does Al and Alice Cooper. We're going to bring a backdrop. Yes. we're psyched because we're going to bring a backdrop. We're and some, I think we're going to bring this new lighting system called the Mantis out with us. But yeah, I don't know. I fully immersive. I'm okay. I just want to. I can't wait. I can't comment until I've seen it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure it's going to be amazing. But I got to get tickets. I got to find a way to get tickets. I got to like beg someone.
Richard Patrick from Filter. You got to know a guy.
I do know a few dudes, but I'm still like, you know, like I don't like doing it. I don't like putting people out.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on, dude. Can I get tickets to your thing? And you know, like I'm not necessarily that guy.
Well,
like,
plus you always got to repay the favor too, which can hurt sometimes if you're not careful.
But you know, come to the Filter show. You know what I mean? Like you know, like that's the best I can do. You know what I mean? Like,
they might start asking you to get into these movies you're working on.
Hey, they can come and see it. They can hang out with me. Yeah, come on.
Well, my fingers are crossed for you that you're going to get U2 tickets to see him in Vegas.
I'm excited and I want to do it.
It was so good to see you.
The Algorithm comes out August 25th. It is the 8th Filter record. It is fucking amazing. I'm super proud of it. It sounds like honestly like title of record and Amalgamut and that era of the band. And I'm very proud, but still cutting edge and new. And
everybody in New England can come see you in Hartford September 10th.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Come on, man. I got cheat sheets you too. Jonathan Davis isn't the only one.
I like your studio too. It's cool. I like all the devils.
This is MCHQ. This is my own personal radio station and podcast studio. It's nice having your own workspace.
I want to be in a picture on your wall.
I can make that happen.
I'm going to be a picture on your wall.
I have pictures of you and I together at WAF with Army of Anyone back in the day.
Oh, shit. Back when I was black-haired.
Yes, that's why I was saying about the gray hair. I'm into
well,
it,
I own it.
Yeah, just own it. I refuse to own it. I'm not.
Well, but you're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody's doing different stuff.
Yeah, it's been purple for...
I have cool-looking silver hair. I can't help it.
It's been purple for almost 33 years now. So if I changed it now, nobody would recognize me.
I had purple hair. There's pictures of me on my Instagram with purple hair. I had purple hair for a little while. But then it was like, what am I doing? I have gray. I like silver.
Yeah. Guys, it looks good on. Women go from hot to witchy in like 9 months with gray hair.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to be that crazy 80-year-old lady with purple
I don't know
hair.
how he does it. I don't know how they do it, but I know some guys that have no gray hair at all. And they're like they're older than me and they have no gray hair at all. So I'm, kudos. And if it's a little sneaky hair dye, then that's okay too.
Yeah. A little just for men between friends.
To thine own self be true. Be good to yourself and just enjoy life and
Amen to that.
Amen to that. That's honestly, that is the message. That is the message that Filter wants to prevail, which is let's all just get along and try and work this shit out. That's basically what it is.
It's the only way we're going to survive.
Yeah. America's not doing too hot, people.
Yeah, we got to figure it out for sure. Well, I will see you at the rock show.
You got it, babe.
And then we'll take pictures and I'll put you on my wall.
Good. And you come and see, and you make sure you stop backstage and hang out with me, and I'll get you backstage tickets. No problem.
Oh, you know a guy.
With the snap of my fingers. We will take care of you, and you can hang out with us.
I will take you up on that.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. It was so great to see you.
Do you know that if you have a Filter tattoo on your body, you can get into any Filter concert there is?
Really?
Yep. For the rest of your life.
Could you try again?
Oh my God.
Indeed.
My watch is talking to me for some reason.
Yeah, the algorithm. Richard, the algorithm is listening to you.
The algorithm's in there. I'm a part of it.
Go get a Filter tattoo and then you can get into the show for free.
Yep. All Filter tattoos get in for free. You just gotta hook us. You just gotta DM us on Instagram or Facebook and try and get our attentions. Now, sometimes people do fall through the cracks, but we do try and honor our word and stuff like that, and make sure that everybody gets in.
That's very cool. All right, we'll see you soon. I know you're busy, and I gotta let you go.
Love you. You got it.
Bye.
I'll see you in a bit. Thank you.
You got it. There he is, the one and only Richard Patrick from Filter. The band's 8th studio album, The Algorithm, comes out next Friday, August 25th. You can see the band on tour with Alice Cooper, Rob Zombie, and Ministry, with a stop in Hartford, Connecticut at the Xfinity Theater coming up on September 10th. You want the details on all of that? Just check the links in the show notes of this episode. You'll find all of Richard Patrick's links, all of Filter's links, all the Mistress Carrie links, the link to buy tickets to the show in Hartford, and the link to this episode's corresponding playlist. I make a playlist for every full-length episode of the Mistress Carrie podcast that features all of my guest music and all the songs and artists that we referenced in the interview. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday, plus every weekday you get the sit rep. In about 5 minutes, I boil down all of your rock news, music headlines, and entertainment updates. You can hang out with me live every Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern on my official Facebook page for my video show, Cocktails in the War Room. And of course, you can always find me on the radio. Get the details on all that and more at mistresscarrie.com. The Mistress Carrie Podcast, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network.
During the Summer of Jeep event, well-qualified Washington, D.C. lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE for $289 a month for 24 months with $5,699 to its signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 20,000. Includes $7,500 EV cap cost reduction. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 9/5. Jeep is a registered trademark.